Hello, welcome to Bike Bible with me, John. Today we're going to be doing a product review on the Wolf Tooth components, one by Chainring for Shimano. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to this review on the Wolf Tooth components, one by Chainring. This one being for the Shimano Ultegra crankset. So, in recent years there was much hype built about the one-by drivetrain systems. It even entered the Grand Tour cycling as well with Team Aqua Blue Sport. However, that didn't end so greatly for them, and it has been publicised that it's basically a system that is not capable of being in Grand Tour cycling. Obviously with the extreme sort of speeds, distances, terrain, so forth, it didn't quite cut the mustard when it came to that. However, does it still serve purpose for us mere mortals? We're going to find out. Okay, so now we are with the Wolf Tooth component, one by Chainring. So, a little bit about this one in particular. This one is for a Shimano crankset. Now the BCD on it is 110. You can get a range of different tooth configurations ranging from either 36 all the way up to 50 tooth. I've opted for the 50 tooth since I live in a relatively flat area and I have other bikes that can cover more mountainous sort of terrain if needed. So not to say that I haven't tried it so already. So I'll tell you first off about the build quality on this. I was pleasantly surprised by how well crafted this has been, and also the durability has been very good as well. I've had this now since I think the tail end of 2017, so we're in 2019 now and it's still lasting. The teeth are nice and big on it, so chain drop is not a thing with this. If anything was to happen, it will be to do with the rear derailleur, and I'll tell you why that could happen. So, basically SRAM do the one-by drivetrain systems, Shimano don't. Shimano don't believe it's a technology worth investing in. However, SRAM have taken this route and it's been popular with them ever since. Now with the SRAM rear derailleurs, what happens is you have a clutch-like mechanism, which means it keeps the tension of the chain the same all the time. However, with Shimano, it doesn't have this clutch mechanism. So what you'd have to do usually, well, I'll tell you why you need it first off, even more so. Basically, if you're pedaling at pace and you decide to stop all of a sudden, what can happen sometimes is you'll get basically a bit of chain slap. That chain slap could ricochet and cause you to skip gears on the rear derailleur at an extreme. It doesn't happen very often, if at all, but the possibility is still there. However, with the clutch mechanism implemented in the SRAM rear derailleurs, it basically keeps that chain tension the same throughout whether you're pedaling or not, which means you don't get that chain slap on the chainstays themselves. However, Wolf Tooth components do actually offer a product to go with Shimano rear derailleurs, going between the derailleur itself and the actual rear hanger as well. That kind of implements itself as a clutch mechanism, so it can prevent that happening. However, I have tried this for 2 years without the clutch mechanism, no problems at all. But yeah, going back onto the product now. But yeah, the build quality is great. Durability has been superb as well. Minimal, well, I've had, as I said, no chain drop whatsoever as well on the front or the rear end, as I've just explained. And yeah, the pricing of it is pretty decent as well. It's from the 36 tooth option, you're looking at about £80 from, this is what I'm quoting from Sigma Sports here in the UK. If you're ordering from abroad, or America, that's where Wolf Tooth components are founded. Obviously the prices are going to fluctuate quite a lot, but Sigma Sport do carry these in stock. 50-tooth configuration, you're looking at £90 the most, and then obviously in the middle end of between 36 and 50, you're going to be looking around about £85 as well. But for all intents and purpose, I have found this to be quite a good investment, and I've had, it does help to, it does make riding with the bike a lot more simpler. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of my experiences now with the actual Chainring, and I'll start it like this. I was very curious about whether one by would suit me or not. It's a big thing to basically take away the front derailleur and stick with just one chainring on the front. I can see why one by drivetrain systems have not worked so well in the pro pelotons, and I mean Team Aqua Blue Sport have stated that it didn't although it was a good concept, it didn't quite suit the conditions of which it was being applied to. And you've got extreme terrains or gradients for that matter over a long distance at speed. You have your good days with it, you have your bad days with it, and it has actually cost stage wins in the past as well. And that's been well documented as well. You can go back in the archives for that and see for first hand for yourself how it cost wins. But at a amateur level or a grassroots racing level, I actually find this to be quite a benefit. I mean, you don't have to contemplate what sort of gear it to be on the front. For one, you're just selecting everything on the back and nothing else. That's a big pro in my books. Two, you are going to save a tiny bit of weight by taking away the front, the actual cables and front derailleur as well. Not a great deal, but you are saving some weight. So whether that's either a pro or a con, depending on what your viewpoint is. But for me, it's a pro at least. Also, over the hillier terrains on longer rides, I do find it to be a little bit tough going, but I think that could be down to lack of training on my side in the past when I've come across them sort of situations. I have taken it up hills and found it to be quite a breeze still when I have been in better shape. So for that, I would say be prepared on the fact that you're just on the one chainring on the front and you haven't got that smaller chainring on the front to fall back to. Train going past. Sorry, just give it a moment. Okay, the train's almost past now. So, yeah, all in all, when it comes to picking the chainring that you need for your bike, take into account the sort of gradients and the sort of distances that you cover on a ride. Obviously 50 tooth is on the extreme side of things, because when I come up to a hill, it's basically like just being stuck in the big ring no matter what you're going up, even if you're going down onto your lowest gear. But, and it's a big but, you can swap out also of course the cassettes as well to go along with your chainring as well. So gear ratios, they're not all lost once you've invested in the item itself. It's just you've got to do a little bit of homework into what you think is going to be right for you. 46 is around about the average number that most people I've heard go with these sort of one by systems, maybe even 44 perhaps. But it's up to you at the end of the day. Do a little bit of research for yourself on what is going to be right for you and the sort of terrain that you encounter. I'd personally say 44, 46 are going to be ideal. If you're racing and it's flat surfaces, 50 is going to be no problem whatsoever. The speeds that you can encounter with this, you're going to be alright. You're definitely going to be alright. I mean, I'll put it like this. I've Not tested it down the biggest of hills and achieved max speeds of like, you know, 40 miles per hour, 50, well, 40 I have, 50, thereabouts. But when I've been on rollers trying this out, and I have done it, I'm not supposed to with a carbon bike, but I have done. I have still managed to achieve over 50 miles per hour on the rollers, so you can still get up to good speed, but you are pedaling like the clappers to make sure that you hit that top speed, so just be aware of that. Now, there's a lot of people who use this kind of system both in time trial and also in hill time trials as well. Hill time trials, this would favour greatly, I reckon, which is a bit on the bizarre side of saying, but it's a shorter distance, for the hill climbs time trials. So you get the right sort of chainring on the front, sort your gearing out of course on the back, and you are going to save that little bit of extra rate that you look for in them sort of competitions, if you like. So yeah, it's overall, I do think it's something that you can live with. It's not without some sort of, I don't know, it's hard to mention. It's not something that you'll begrudge a lot. If you do it, it's down to lack of training normally. I'll put that on my side at least anyway, when I have sworn at it once or twice, but yeah, I'll just say Wolf Tooth Components have done a fantastic job on this this product. I'm looking forward to trying future products. I will try out the clutch mechanism to go between the Duelia and the Rango as well, and I might do an update on that even, who knows. But yeah, overall I do find it to be a very great item indeed. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more content like this as well. And also playing somewhere around myself, there's going to be links as well to social media that we're on as well. We're constantly putting up written reviews. We're also we've got the Facebook forum as well, which is a great community as well. The website's coming along nicely at the moment as well, and that's got written reviews on there, but we'll also in the future have its own little forum on there also. And lastly, you've got Instagram for obviously a little bit of bike porn. So yeah, I'd like to thank you very much again for watching, and have a good one.